It has been a wild time. 95 days of bondage. Can you believe that? It seems like an ongoing nightmare. Every day we wake up and it's still there. People out of business, people having the governor telling them how to live their lives. We're picking winners and losers, picking life and death. No elective surgeries, but abortions are okay. The inconsistencies and hypocrisies not lost on the people of Pennsylvania. Russ Diamond and myself were condemned for being on the steps here April and May by the governor and Secretary Levine for being irresponsible with our constituents, shaking hands and talking to people. But it's different when the governor marches out with several hundred people. In a county, he says 25 or less. You know, he's mixed it up with several hundred. So we're done with the hypocrisy. There is not an elite ruling class in Pennsylvania. We're all people with equal justice under the law. So the governor and Secretary of Health don't get to pick winners and losers, don't get to pick what laws they're going to abide by. And we're standing for truth and righteousness. I can't believe that in Pennsylvania we're actually having this debate. The place just down the road where the light of freedom was lit in 1776, and where an awful battle was fought in Gettysburg to secure those rights for all men and women. But we're standing here as modern-day patriots fighting the good fight for freedom against tyranny. The overreach and overpower and the aggressive use of his power by the governor over the past 95 days has been stunning and tyrannical. One-stop shop of all of this decisions for 13 million people, deciding to quarantine an entire state instead of quarantining the sick and protecting the vulnerable. The governor thought with the Secretary of Health it'd be a good idea to let COVID-positive folks go into the most vulnerable and unleashing a plague amongst our elderly. And there's going to be a lot of accountability to be held here, and it's beginning right now. So as Pennsylvanians and as members of the General Assembly, House and Senate, we join arms together in a bipartisan fashion here to say no to the overreach, to say no to the tyranny, to say no to the hypocrisy, and to reassert ourselves as free people. We are free people. That freedom has been fought for by the blood of patriots, centuries gone by to modern times, and we stand on the shoulders of giants, and we're here to say we're open for business. We stand with the people. We're going to live the lives as we want, not as the governor wants. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Delegate Dan Cox, and I'm honored to be here in Gettysburg today with my lovely wife Valerie and Senator Mastriano and his bride Rebbe. We're here to remember the fact that we stand for freedom in America, and I am very privileged and honored to be fighting for that here as a candidate for governor in Maryland. And I'm standing at the Maryland Monument in Gettysburg with my friend Senator Mastriano, who has stood with President Trump and stood for election integrity and all of our values, and it's an honor for me to hear his support today. So thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dan and Valerie. Welcome to Gettysburg, where men from both Pennsylvania and Maryland fought side by side so all people could be free. And that dream came to fruition thanks to so much sacrifice, something that we've taken for granted. And this past year has been painful for the people in Maryland and Pennsylvania, where heavy-handed edicts from our governors have shut down our state. This is an easy endorsement for Rebbe and I. Dan and Valerie are on the right side of history. They stand for life. They stand for liberty and pursuit of happiness. They want you to live your life as you see fit and not as some governor that sends edicts out there on how you should live. And he stands for life, protection of your Second Amendment, and all the freedoms that are delineated in our Constitution. And so with Dan, he has our full endorsement and support, and you can find no better man to lead your great state to the greatness that it should have. Thank you. God bless you both.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Rebbe. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
It was a real honor to go with my wife over to Gettysburg and meet with Senator Mastriano and his wife. And in case you don't know a little bit more about him, he is single-handedly leading Pennsylvania in the direction of making sure our elections are safe and secure and have a full forensic audit. And that's what I would like to do here in Maryland. It needs to be done. We had 4 counties that came in with an Army intelligence analyst, a former Army intelligence analyst, indicating that we had substantial statistical anomalies in 4 counties, including 2 of those were my district, Frederick and Carroll. So we want to get to the bottom of that. Instead of a 1 to 3% change, or in Obama's election, we had a 7% change in the election, in the voter volume. We had a 37% change with this past election. It's just basically statistically improbable or impossible. It's wrong. We've got to get to the bottom of it, and that's part of my platform. We need to make sure we look at our ESS systems, and we need to make sure we have a forensic audit and a paper audit of our elections. I put in a bill to do that in the legislature. And interestingly, although the Democrats did not accept my bill, they didn't even vote on it. I did have a hearing, but they didn't vote on my bill. But the chairwoman of the committee that heard my bill, in my opinion, took some of the ideas and passed a bill this past session to begin the process of moving towards audits. Because right now in Maryland law, there is no requirement to to audit the ballot before certification of a candidate. So the auditing or the review is after the candidate has been certified the winner. Well, you can't walk that back if you find out there's fraud. So they moved it up. That was part of my bill. The other part of the bill was to make sure that we had a paper audit and to make sure that we did a full and comprehensive audit of all the machines, because right now in Maryland law, there's no requirement that you have to check all the machines. You just have to do a sample. So you could check if you have 10 machines, you could do a sample of 1 or 2, and if the person is doing the sampling checks it out, then they're good. So